Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church, and I'm here again on another week to continue talking about this man named Joseph. Now, we talked about a number of things in the past, and we want to look today at chapter 40 of Genesis. And I'm going to start reading at verse 14, but prior to verse 14, you go back and read verses 1 through 13. And it talks about how the cupbearer and the baker of the Pharaoh were thrown in jail, and how they had each had a dream, and Joseph interpreted the dream for them. And then they get released. So that brings us to verse 14, and Joseph says this, "And please remember me, and do me a favor when things go well for you. Mention me to Pharaoh, so he might let me out of this place. For I was kidnapped from my homeland, the land of the Hebrews, and now I'm here in prison, but I did nothing to deserve it." Well, let's stop a minute. It's true, he did not do what Potiphar's wife accused him of. That's what got him thrown in jail. But he did do something. He's forgotten how he used to talk to his brothers. He's forgotten how much he hated his brothers, and his brothers hated him. You see, over time, we forget the bad things we did. We just remember the good ones. And so when he says, "I didn't do anything," well, that's not really quite true. So in any case, here come the cupbearers and the baker. And it says in verse 20, "Pharaoh's birthday came 3 days later, and he prepared a banquet for all his officials and his staff. He summoned his chief cupbearer and the chief baker to join the other officials." That's the two guys that had the dream in prison. "And then he restored the chief cupbearer to his former position so he could again hand Pharaoh his cup. But Pharaoh impaled the chief baker just as Joseph had predicted when he interpreted his dream. Pharaoh's chief cupbearer, however, forgot all about Joseph, never giving him another thought." So what we find out is that the two dreams they had, one of them turned out pretty good, one of them not so good. But what's important here is to see that the cupbearer says here, he restored the cupbearer to his position. But the cupbearer forgot that Joseph was the one who told him what was going to happen. You know, sometimes in life, when we get blessed, we forget about those who really are responsible for our success. Oh, I know with the Academy Awards, they always thank this person and this person and this person and this person. I was reading one little tidbit the other day, how, forget who it was, but somebody went on for like 7 minutes of thank you. They don't allow that today because they closer keep the time limit. But in the past, that happened. But most of the time, we forget about those, except exceptional folks who've helped us. And I don't know about your life, but I want to presume that you're successful. Now, granted, being successful has many different definitions. I'm successful. I know that. Now, if you want to ask if I'm rich, no, I'm not. If you want to ask, do I have the best house in the land? No, don't know that either. Do I have the best and most recent car? Well, not quite. My Jeep is 15 years old, and my Subaru is now 4 years old. But I'm blessed. God has given me multiple opportunities to be and enjoy successful. Now, was every minute of every moment in the past great? Nope. Been a lot of disappointments. But I've tried to remember those who actually helped me be who I am today, and to give thanks for them. Poor Joseph. Now think about this. These two guys in prison with him each have a dream. He interprets the dream. Both guys get called up to Pharaoh's court. Both dreams become true. And the very people he's depending on to, quote, save him from prison, one can't because he's dead. The other one forgets. Where does that leave Joseph? Still sitting in prison. Now, the rest of the story we'll get to when he gets out of there, but for right now, let's stop at that point. Where are you in your life? Well, I don't mean age-wise. I don't even mean status-wise. Where are you in your life now in terms of knowing and walking with God? Because Joseph was forgotten, God took that time to continue to strengthen him. Now, we're going to find out later that Joseph finally recognizes that, but we haven't gotten there yet, so just sort of hang on. Joseph left stirring in his misery, but yet God was still working. And if you are struggling in life, whatever it is, I have the privilege to tell you that God is still working. I don't know what he's working for. I don't know how it's going to turn out. But I do know that where you are struggling right now is not the final word on your life. God has a plan for Joseph. Joseph can't see it. And to be honest, if I were Joseph or were Joseph, I couldn't see it either. It's okay not to be able to see the outcome. But what's important is to keep going and keep reminding yourself that God loves me. God's going to take care of me. I don't know if Joseph said that because it doesn't tell us. I can presume he did, and I can presume he didn't. But the fact of the matter is, God did still love him, and God did still control the situation of his life. And that's true for you and me, wherever we are. I hope that you'll find that place of contentment and success, knowing that God is working a great work in you. If you don't think that, okay, that's fine. Doesn't mean it's true, because God still is in charge of everything. Will you think about that? If you have a need or a concern, let us know. We'll do whatever we can as fast as we can to help meet your need. Thanks so much for listening. I'll be back tomorrow with another story about a guy called Joseph. God bless you. I'll talk to you later.